Hello sweet team, welcome back to my channel. This is Sweet Ajele with this super tasty chicken pie recipe for you all, also known as chicken turnover. Now if you're new to my channel, join the sweet team by clicking on that subscribe button right now. While you're at it, hit that bell and hit all notifications so you'll be among the first to be notified when I upload a video. Let's get started. To my pan, I'll add some vegetable oil. To that, I'll add my chopped up onions, and I'm using about half of a medium, and I'm going to sweat this for just about 3 minutes. Then I'll add in my chopped up chicken breast. You may use any type of meat that you prefer, and you can grind it if you want, but I'm making this for somebody, so I decided to cut it into small little cubes. Okay, then I'll go ahead and season it with some anise powder, ginger powder, onion powder, and some garlic powder. Stir everything together, and then I'm going to season this with some of my chicken seasoning. And I'm going to stir it, cover it up, and allow the chicken to release its own juices. Now in a bowl, I'll add about 1.5 tablespoons of cornstarch. Add some water and mix well, and we'll be using this as a thickener in our sauce. You may use flour if you don't have cornstarch. I prefer cornstarch because it gives you a more clear sauce rather than white. Okay, and as you can see, our chicken have released its own juices, so I'm going to go ahead and add in some vegetables. Once I stir everything in beautifully, I'm going to add enough water to finish cooking my chicken. I'll also add some salt to taste, give it a good stir, cover it up, and allow it to finish cooking completely. Meanwhile, I'll get started on my crust. In here, I have some all-purpose flour. To that, I'll add in some salt and baking powder, and I'm going to go ahead and mix it very well. To this, I'll add my butter and my shortening. Then, using my pastry blender, I'm going to mix everything in until it is nicely incorporated. Now, if you're in Ghana and you're using margarine, I realize that the fat content in margarine is very, very high in Ghana. I used the Cook brand and it doesn't require refrigeration. Our butter over here have to be in the refrigerator or it'll melt and you see water in it. But the margarine in Ghana have no water, so it has a very high fat content, which is the same as the shortening that I'm using. So you got the goods already. You don't need to add any shortening to your pie crust. I add the shortening in order to elevate the fat content in my crust. So yeah, omit it, you don't need it. At this point, I added my water, and I'm not adding a lot of water because this was an impromptu recipe, so I didn't get a chance to ensure that all my ingredients were nice and cold. So once I added my butter and shortening, my dough was already soft, so I just needed a little bit of water to bring moisture into it, because without water your crust will be very hard. I don't care how much butter you put in your crust, you have to add water in order to get the nice moisture, which will in turn give you a nice flaky dough. I'll then split it in half, cover it with plastic wrap, and allow it to rest in my refrigerator while I finish up with my filling. For a list of ingredients and their measurements, please check the description box below. So my filling is looking good, it's nice and ready. I'll add my cornstarch just to thicken it up, let it cook for about a minute, and then I'll turn the heat off and allow it to cool completely. You do not want to put this on your crust, it will melt it. Okay. So just let it cool down completely. And as you can see, the sauce is nice and thick, just beautiful. So while that is cooling, I'm making a lot of pie today because I don't know if I said it already, I'm making it for somebody, so I don't want to keep cutting and filling and cutting and filling. So I'm going to prep my crust. I'm going to roll and cut them all out, and by the time I'll be done with this, my filling will be nice and cold, and then we'll continue from there. Now, if you have a pie mold, you can go right ahead and use it, but I like the lid. If you heard that in my meat pie recipe, I just love the lid. If you have a lid like this and it's nice and reasonable, you don't want a big lid, and you don't want to, well, it depends on the size of pie that you're making. So I cut it out, I sprinkle a bit of flour over the top of it, and this is the thickness that I'm going for. You can make it thicker or thinner. I like crust, so yeah. And I just lay it down, and I'll continue the process until everything is rolled and cut out. I use the flour on the top to prevent it from sticking together. So I'll just continue until my mountain is built. Ta-da! Don't follow. At this point, my filling is nice and cold, so I'm adding in some fresh onions because I want to bring that freshness into the filling, and I'm going to stir everything together, and we will be ready to put all of this together. Oh my goodness, the house smells super good. My baby Gideon enjoyed this chicken pie. He loves it. He said, "Mommy, make more of this." So I'm just adding some water to the edges of the crust. Add my filling, fold it over, press the sides down, and then using your index finger, you're going to go ahead and press it down to make a beautiful sort of design, just to seal it. This is to seal it, but it also makes it look beautiful.
Continental food, madam. International food captain. We'll show you how to make pizza, jollof, banku and okra soup, sushi and pastries. All this and more. Sweet
You can also go right ahead and use a fork to press it down to seal it, and that's it. So I've whisked together 1 egg and some milk, and I'll use it to egg wash the top of the pie to make it look very glossy and beautiful.
Continental food, madam.
Now using my fork, I'm going to poke holes. You can make it 1, you can make it 2. I'm making it 3 this time. You can make it on the sides, and this will keep your pie from exploding in the baking process. I'll then bake it in a 350-degree Fahrenheit oven until it is nice and golden brown, which could be anywhere between 25 to 30 minutes, and it all depends on your oven, so just keep an eye on it. If it browns too much, it may just be too hard. And ta-da! It is ready. Just look how nice and golden brown it is. The house smells absolutely divine. The crust is nice and flaky. The filling nice and moist. Promise me you're gonna try this recipe because I know you will love it. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Be sure to watch the video to the end because it helps YouTube recommend my videos a lot more. If you're a new subscriber, welcome to my channel. This is Sweet Ajele. Thank you so much for subscribing. And to the sweet team, y'all know I love you. Until I see you in my next video, stay safe. Yes, please be safe out there. Keep loving each other and remember that the love of God and family is life's greatest blessing. And guys, ka onamini ochemi sweet mahabotu. Bye y'all.